Pig and Whistle, Tales from Azeroth. As always, here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. Today, we're going to be going over something that's a bit different. It's not necessarily about World of Warcraft as, a game, but it's more about Blizzard as the company, Activision Blizzard as the company. And it is going to be Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. It's insane, is the first thought. And there's a lot to unpack, but let's obviously start off with the normal stuff. We're going to be looking at Morgeth and I forgot his name, Nurgash, Muckformed, as the world bosses for this week. And you have not Deepwing, I've forgotten the name of it as well, Gravity Lapse as the brawl. But these are the two main things. I just want to jump straight into it, really. I just want to, really jump straight into it. So, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. That's insane. So, this news dropped a couple days ago. Well, a few days ago now, when this episode goes live. A few days, and it's given us a few days to sort of, digest it, go over it and stuff like that. Now, the deal was for $70 billion US dollars, or just below. It's like 68.9. So round it up, it's 70 billion because, it's pocket change to Microsoft apparently. This will be the biggest transaction, I think, that any sort of company has done. And this would put Microsoft as the third highest gaming company. So we're going to be going over sort of the statements from Microsoft, and Blizzard have literally just put one out as of yesterday when this podcast has gone live, but today, as I would say. So we'll go through the Microsoft one first. We'll look at a few other things and stuff like that. But okay, so it reads as follows. Welcoming the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming, all that stuff. As a team, we are on a mission to extend the joy and community of gaming to everyone on the planet. We all know that gaming is the most vibrant and dynamic form of entertainment worldwide, and we've experienced the power of social connection and friendship that gaming makes possible. Just the sort of basic corporate talk. As we pursue that mission, it is incredibly exciting to announce that Microsoft has agreed to acquire Activision Blizzard. Over many decades, the studios and teams that make up Activision Blizzard have earned vast wellsprings of joy and respect from billions of people all over the world. We are incredibly excited to have the chance to work with the amazing, talented, dedicated people across Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, Beanox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity Ward, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, Treyarch, and every team across Activision Blizzard. So the reason why this is a huge deal for just gaming in general and, everything is because Activision Blizzard as itself was a massive gaming corp. If you look at just what they've put here and all of the different sort of studios that they've listed, I'm not going to go over them all again, but Blizzard Entertainment, Demonware, Beanox, Digital Legends, etc., all of them, they had a lot under them, Activision Blizzard, and now this all just transfers over to Microsoft. And the biggest thing about this is, obviously, going forward, what would it mean for World of Warcraft? What would it mean for games that come under, that you love from, Blizzard Entertainment, Demonware, stuff like that? So until the transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently. Once the deal is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to me as CEO, Microsoft Gaming. Now, this is huge. This is the best part of the entire thing. So, report to me as CEO. Now, the me is Phil Spencer, the head of Microsoft Gaming, all that stuff. And the current CEO of Activision Blizzard is Bobby Kotick. And Bobby Kotick is not loved at this point in time. He is probably hated by the gaming community as a whole, and he is despised by, more specifically, the World of Warcraft community and stuff like that, the people who actually play the Blizzard games and stuff like that. Everyone knows Bobby Kotick, everyone knows what he's done and stuff like that. He has, covered up allegations and hid all of that stuff and sent emails and constantly loads of stuff. He's done loads of bad stuff, I will say that. So this is amazing news. It's just amazing news. So when the deal has gone through, Bobby Kotick will most likely, in my opinion, not be the CEO of Activision Blizzard anymore. He has gone from Activision Blizzard. We don't have to deal with him at all. He will probably get another job somewhere, which is very sad. But honestly, as long as he's not interfering with my gaming experience, or sort of it doesn't taint it, as it were, then I'm more than happy. Now, everyone talks about how much money he'll get from when he gets released as CEO and stuff like that, but it's not that big of a deal. He would be paid less money than what he would earn in a year from working. So someone leaked like the numbers and whatnot, but he would get around 290 million US dollars from being released from his contract, and he earns about 360 million a year for doing a year's work. So it's a little bit less, and to Microsoft this is like nothing. This is pocket change, like I said. So they wouldn't mind necessarily doing that. And it's probably the best way to go in the long run. In the short term, obviously, he's still going to stay there at Activision Blizzard. He will not step down willingly at all. He will not do that at all because of what he makes and everything like that. No matter the allegations brought up against him, he would not step down willingly. But in the long run, after they have acquired Activision Blizzard and that deal has gone through, the chances are that they will get rid of Bobby Kotick, mainly because they do not want this figure in their corporation anymore. He would taint the figure of what they are because of the allegations against him and everything like that. So this is great news. This is absolutely great news. And this will actually link to someone, or to what Microsoft said earlier when these allegations came through about Bobby Kotick. So in November of last year, Phil Spencer condemned Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick on an email sent to the staff members, mentioning that his leadership team was disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard. Now, these are the allegations saying that he threatened to kill someone, releasing stuff, and, that he's covering up all of these sexual harassment, all that stuff. It's just awful, and it's not a good look, to be honest. He further commenting that this type of behaviour has no place in our industry, though in a later statement, he followed up saying that Xbox would not be changing its partnership with Activision Blizzard, as it is not their place to punish other companies. Now, this is hilarious because now it is their place to punish Activision Blizzard. It really is their place to punish them. So you kind of hope that they go through with this. Now, obviously, it's corporate talk and you want to make yourself look good in the eyes of the public when, other big corporations are on the down. Obviously, you can get lower than where Activision Blizzard is at the moment as a company, obviously. And, it just, you put out these statements to make yourself look good and your corporation look good. But there's that slight glimmer of hope where you think, let's hope that they, make good on what they've said in these sort of statements, because otherwise it's just nonsense what they're talking, to be honest. But it is definitely their place now in order to punish Activision Blizzard and more importantly, the leaders of Activision Blizzard and Blizzard Entertainment, stuff like that, because they were the ones that were sort of keeping the people who were harassing in the job and sort of hiding these allegations and just pushing them to one side and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully they make good on what they were saying in that statement. So carrying on with the Microsoft statement, upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within Xbox Games Pass and PC Game Pass, both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalogue. We also announced today that the Game Pass now has more than 25 million subscribers. As well, as always, we look forward to continuing to add more value and get more great games to Game Pass. Now, this begs the question, will World of Warcraft be on the Game Pass? My thoughts are that it won't be. So the Game Pass for Xbox is you buy a subscription for the Game Pass, and every week, every 2 weeks, every month, I can't quite remember, but it will have a rotation of games on it. It's like a rotation of map pools in like ranked games. Some games have that. But it will be constant games being switched in and out, and you can download them if you have a subscription to the Game Pass. I don't see this as how they will do it, because firstly, you have a subscription to World of Warcraft, and I don't see them ever getting rid of this subscription because money. It's just very good money, it's proven to make money, and it's just very simple. If it was to go onto the Game Pass, I would imagine that the subscription would be taken away from World of Warcraft. The World of Warcraft would be permanently on the Game Pass. They wouldn't ever take it off because it is a massive MMO, and the more people on it, the better. But they would change a lot of things in-game. So MMOs today have stores, and in-game stores, more specifically, and these stores give you microtransactions that can improve your player power. Most MMOs. World of Warcraft is not one of these MMOs. The player power is not locked behind the in-game store. You can get cosmetics, that's great, but it does not affect your player power in the game. You cannot buy powerful things within that game store that will help you at the end game content of World of Warcraft. So this is where I think they would have to change it. They would add these things onto the World of Warcraft in-game store, but I don't think that's how it will happen, because I think that there'll be quite a massive backlash if they do. But again, they don't care as long as it makes them money, does it? I mean, Microsoft are spending 70 billion US dollars just to acquire Activision Blizzard, who are on the down low at the moment, maybe to try and salvage it or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I could see it going both ways. I hope that they just keep the subscription based, and I wouldn't mind them bringing it to Xbox and PlayStation. The more people, I think, the better. I personally think that's only because, coming from me, and the realm that I play on is very dead. It's very low populated. So I would like to see the realms, reinvigorated and stuff like that. More people to World of Warcraft Classic. I'm not really sure how it will work on console, but I'm sure that's not down to me to figure out, is it? That's down to them. A lot of games will go onto the Game Pass, and I can see how they will work. Diablo 4, I would imagine, goes onto the Game Pass. Maybe the Diablos do as well, and stuff like that. StarCraft, Heroes of the Storm, maybe. So there's a lot of potential for games to go onto the Game Pass for Xbox, but I don't think World of Warcraft will be one of these games, in all honesty. So let's carry on. The fantastic franchise cross Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, will also accelerate our plans for cloud gaming, allowing more people in more places around the world to participate in the Xbox community using phones, tablets, laptops, and other devices you already own. Activision Blizzard games are enjoyed on a variety of platforms, and we continue to support those communities moving forward. As a company, Microsoft is committed to our journey for inclusion in every aspect of gaming, among both employees and players. We deeply value individual studio cultures. We also believe that creative success and autonomy go hand in hand with treating every person with dignity and respect. We hold all teams and all leaders to this commitment. We're looking forward to extending our culture of productive inclusion to the great teams across Activision Blizzard. They've made a real statement there. With the whole individual, we value the individual studios and the whole treating every person with dignity and respect. And when they said we hold all teams and all leaders to this commitment, you may as well just put that in bold because, yeah, you know who it's aiming at. We're looking at you, Bobby. Yeah, let's hope that they live up to it. Again, it is just corporate talk, I feel. I feel like it's just being said because at the low point that Activision Blizzard is at the moment, this would give it some rep. Some people might be like, okay, at least they're going to try and stuff and give it that second chance. Some people who play the games and are really invested and who even have family members working for Activision Blizzard, who have friends working at Activision Blizzard, might be a bit more skeptical, a bit more like, yeah, we'll see it or we'll believe it when we see it, that kind of thing. So it's just really to get in the good books of some people at the moment, but it's more of a we'll believe it when we see it type of thing because a lot of stuff has happened at Activision Blizzard over the past several months. It's very tough to just say this sort of thing and not follow it up with anything that is a bold statement or showing people that you will commit to it. Obviously, they can't at the moment because the deal has not gone through. The deal will go through, I can't remember the actual word, but in 2023. So they won't have any sort of, say in what Activision Blizzard does in this year. It won't have any impact in the immediate future of World of Warcraft as a whole, of the Diablo games and stuff like that, not until the final takeover. So, if you're a WoW fan and stuff like that, you obviously don't need to worry about anything happening in the immediate future, like next month or whatever. You'll be looking at more sort of late 2023, 2024, that sort of thing, where Microsoft might look to change a few things in WoW, and hopefully not much, maybe just bring it back to sort of its peak and look to improve it in that way, but we'll see. We'll only see. And then they finish up with, around the world, there is no more exciting venue for fun and connection than video games, and there has never been a better time to play than right now. As we extend the joy and community of gaming to everyone, we look forward to welcoming all our friends at Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. Yeah, the corporate sort of thing. It's like, yeah, welcome, happy holidays, stuff like that, This is huge. This is huge mainly because it's going to change a lot of things. Hopefully it doesn't change the games that we love in a massive way. Hopefully it more changes the corporation as a whole and how it treats its sort of employees, and it gives the employees more freedom to be creative in the games that they love. Loads of people at Blizzard have been shut down from their ideas because they wanted to push World of Warcraft in a different way, but it's very much, no, this is how we're doing it. So it gives a lot more people a lot more freedom to express themselves and maybe, hit a few ideas around and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get a more enjoyable game going forward. A lot more ideas that are out of the box, a lot more, we may as well try this and see if people like it. Let's incorporate it more into the game, stuff like that. So hopefully we get to see more of this. A couple things have been popping up in WoW here and there. 9.2 has a lot of cool new things, such as, well, for me personally, the arenas are always fun, new maps to see. There's one where you press a button and it brings up the walls and stuff so that you can line a sight and everything like that. So it's sort of these things where you can incorporate it and give it a go and see if people enjoy it. If they don't, get it out of here, that kind of thing. And that's what I think needs to happen in WoW. It needs to have some sort of experimental period where it's like, okay, a lot of people like this, but it's not as keen on this side, or people didn't like this aspect of it, that kind of thing. So hopefully we get a lot more of that going forward. But honestly, I feel like it can be a good thing. Now, this is very much from an emotional standpoint because Activision Blizzard is, like I said, at a very all-time low right now. They couldn't get much worse. So this is more of an emotional thing on everything that's been happening at Activision Blizzard, and it can only go up. That's my sort of a thought process. But we just have to wait and see, in all honesty. Now, Blizzard did come out with their own statement. This was yesterday, as of listening to this, or it might have been last week, depending on when you listen to this. But it was on the 20th of January. So let's just go through it. I've not read this one at all, so let's give it a go. I'm humbled to be a part of Blizzard Entertainment. Oh, this is by Mike Ybarra, by the way. This is from Mike Ybarra. I'm humbled to be part of Blizzard Entertainment, the rich history, the incredible talent, the best player communities, and of course the amazing games we're so fortunate to have created. I've been leading Blizzard for a couple of months now, and in addition to exciting news this week, I want to share some initial thoughts as we strive to put our team and players at the forefront of everything that we do. 2021 was challenging for all of us. As individuals, we care about treating everyone around us with respect and dignity. I highly doubt that at the moment, coming from Activision Blizzard. As professionals, we care deeply about our crafts, and we want to work in the most supportive and safe environment possible. A lot of people aren't feeling safe there, Ybarra. I've really got to say, a lot of people feel harassed. So, you might want to, again, corporate talk, just saying, we're sorry, please don't hate us and stuff like that. So, you might want to be a bit more careful with the words, but, I mean, what can you say, really? Our top priority now and into the future is the work we are doing to rebuild your trust in Blizzard. I mean, rebuild the trust in Blizzard. They appointed Mike Ybarra, and I forget her name, but they literally appointed these two as head of like Blizzard or whatever, and she quit. She quit like 2 months later because they weren't on the same salary. They were doing the exact same job, but they weren't on the exact same salary. She was getting paid less, so it makes no logical sense. If you want to rebuild your trust in Blizzard, then do the stuff that will actually build our trust in Blizzard. Like deal with the sexual harassment claims, deal with bloody Bobby Kotick, all of that. Like, actually show us that you want to rebuild the trust, not just put out statements like this. It makes no sense. Watching Blizzard work as creatively and diligently as we have throughout this challenging time, on top of an ongoing pandemic, has been inspiring. Navigating these challenges, evolving our development processes, and being introspective and looking at how we can improve our culture. Culture shows incredible strength and commitment to one another, our work, and to the player communities. I also was encouraged in reading forums, social posts, and emails from people within and outside of Blizzard. Hold up. I can't see. I've got something in my eye. All right. Standing up for what is right and lending us your guidance. I want you all to know we are listening and we are committed to change. As a first step towards improving communication with the community, I want to highlight some of the initial actions we will be taking to improve our culture. Let's hear them, Ybarra. We're measuring our My brain just isn't working at the moment. We're measuring our executive and management teams, directly against culture improvement. This means their and my own success and compensation will directly depend on the overall success of creating a safe, inclusive, and creative work environment at Blizzard. Okay, we're dedicating more full-time roles and resources to improving our culture. All too often, this important effort falls to employee resource groups filled with people who already have full-time jobs. A few of the leadership positions we've established for this new team include a culture leader who will help us maintain the best aspects of what we have today and change and evolve where needed to ensure everyone brings their best self to Blizzard. A new organizational leader for human resources who will build trust, empower our teams, and help foster a safe, positive work environment for everyone. I mean, this should have been in place in the first place. The fact that... I don't know. I guess if they're getting someone new for human resources, then it would take out the middleman, because obviously people would go to the person who was head of human resources and they would obviously just be like, okay, yeah, push it to one side, that kind of thing. So I can see where they might be going with this, but at the same time, they should have had someone doing this job already. I mean, if you get sexual harassment claims coming through human resources and you're pushing them to one side, it's not the best look, to be honest with you. A diversity, equity, and inclusive leader solely focused on our progress across multiple efforts in this area. We're committed to staffing these teams as a priority. We tripled the size of our compliance and investigations teams and have articulated clear accountability for unacceptable behaviour. This applies to all employees at Blizzard, including leadership and management. Everyone is pointing their fingers at the leadership and management. You may as well just put Bobby Kotick. We have shared representation data internally with our teams and have set goals around improvement across these metrics. We put in place an upward feedback program so that employees have confidence in evaluating management, and we use this to measure the quality and effectiveness of our managers. I don't know. These actions are just the beginning of the work that lies ahead for Blizzard. I'm motivated and excited to work directly on building the best environment for our teams to allow them to bring their visions to life. We also know that we need to deliver content to our players on a more regular basis and innovate both in and beyond our existing games. We have some exciting things to announce, and I'll be sharing more next week. Okay. I want to thank our communities and incredible teams for your dedication and guidance, which will always be our North Star. Here's to an incredible 2022 and beyond. Mike Ybarra. I mean, 2022 can't be any worse than 2021 for Activision Blizzard, so yeah. Obviously they end it with the we'll be sharing more next week. It's probably the new WoW expansion, probably new games like Diablo 4 updates and stuff like that. And they obviously will be dropping this at the end of this very thing, because that's what a lot of people want to focus on, the very end of the statement. And it's like, oh, wow, they're going to bring out this stuff next week and hope that everyone just forgets everything above it. But I don't get why none of this was in position. Or if it was in position, I don't get how this was so fucked up by Blizzard as a whole. Like, if these things were in position, obviously, I don't know. They need to show it. They need to show it to the people who consume the games that they play, who consume the, resource that they provide everyone, how they are changing it. Some people need to see how they're changing this. Some people have seen the bad from Activision Blizzard and the absolute atrocious ways that they've handled accusations and everything shit that's gone on behind closed doors. They need to show people how they are changing it for the good. They need to show something. The only way that you would ever know at the moment is if you were friends or family members with someone who works at Activision Blizzard and has a good sort of insight into everything that was happening before and has an insight into stuff that's happening now, and saying if it is getting better or if it's just staying the same and it's, pretty stupid and useless what they're doing and they're just chatting shit, that kind of thing. So, I don't know. It's very tough. It's very tough to say. People need to see what they're doing. But as a whole, I don't think this is going to change World of Warcraft that much. It's a massive takeover. It's absolutely insane. I don't know. We don't know if it's going to be good for the game, bad for the game. A lot of people are saying that it will be good, mainly because I feel like it's an emotional response at the moment, because everyone is just in the I hate Bobby Kotick and he's going to be leaving when the takeover happens, or most likely leaving. So I think a lot of people are having an emotional response to it right now, and which is understandable, honestly. I think it can't get any worse, but I think the game that we all know and love, some people love, some people hate it right now, you know, your choice, but it might change. It might change drastically, it might change very slightly, but I don't think, in my personal opinion, it will change that much. It's a very good product. Microsoft are a big company. They only want to make money, in my eyes. And if you have a product that is selling and doing well, you would not change it massively in that regard. They won't put it on the Game Pass. This is my opinion. They will keep it as a subscription based. They will put other Activision games on the Game Pass. But I think WoW will go to console eventually in the next couple years, most likely. I'm not sure how it will work. Maybe it will be like Overwatch, where you have your own separate like servers. You have Xbox servers, PC servers, and then if you want, you can just hang out and do, you know, the simple stuff. Like battlegrounds or just dungeons, not like Mythic Pluses, with people on a different console and stuff like that. So I think that's how it would work, but I don't think it would be anything dramatic or drastic changing with the game as we know it. But yeah, it was just insane how the news just dropped that day. There was no hints to it, there was nothing. People at Activision Blizzard who were working didn't even know this was happening. They woke up to the exact same news that we woke up to a couple days ago. So you can imagine us being shocked. Imagine them. It's like, oh, we're going to be owned by Microsoft like next year. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's something. All right. I don't know. There seems to be no communication there at all. It's absolutely insane. And let's face it, who would blame them for not communicating? The employees there probably hate the leadership team, and the leadership team don't want to be, you know, talking to people who hate them. But what can you do? There's not a lot that will change with World of Warcraft as a whole, in my opinion. I just hope that this actually helps World of Warcraft become a healthier game, and it brings Activision Blizzard at least a little bit more into the light that we used to see them, even when all of this was going on behind closed doors, because we used to see them as a really nice company and stuff like that, where they would make a great game, World of Warcraft, and they'd constantly be trying to output content. But I mean, this was all still happening, we just didn't know it, and that's sort of the sting behind it, because it wasn't fun to find that out. But we hope that it can bring it back and sort of bring it into line with we like it again, you know, there is a hope for it, that kind of thing. So it's a bit different today. It's probably a WoW news, in all honesty, but not WoW. It's more Blizzard, Activision. So yeah, what can you do? Thank you all very much for listening. As always, be sure to check out YouTube, Twitch, social medias, absolutely everything. Constant stuff happening on all of them. Thank you all very much once again, and go a valor friend.